Greetings viewers, this Mountain Maverick coming back at you with another review video. Today we'll be assembling the figure-wise standard amplified Wargreymon, along with sharing the pros, the cons, everything else in between, along with my final verdict. Is this a kit worth getting? Is this a kit to add to your collection? Are you a Digimon fan or just a model kit fan? Tune in to find out all these answers to these questions in this video. Without all that being said, let's get to assembling this together. And here we have the figure-wise standard amplified Wargreymon fully assembled. And by first initial thoughts, I will admit I am very impressed. Everything just works out well for this kit. As I mentioned in the parts video, the color palette they chose worked pretty well. I did argue the fact that I kind of wish the other flip. Oops. As I was saying, the colors that they picked out were pretty good. Again, the only thing I would argue is the yellow used for the armor. I kind of wish it was just a little bit darker, but at the same time, it does work well with the other colors that is part of this kit. Even though the little bits of color pieces, such as the red, does bring out the contrast with the silver, the gunmetal for the armor pieces, the claws, even the orange tone for the skin of Wargreymon really did match well. So the color palette, I would say, if I were to scale it on 1 to 10, for example, I would say give it a 9, just because of the yellow for the armor. But other than that, it's matched up pretty well. The colors are really pointing out. Another thing that I want to make a review on is how is this accurate to Wargreymon in the show. And because this is an amplified version of the character, the accuracy is not 1%, which is not necessarily a bad thing. For example, the spikes on the shoulder blades are a lot smaller than the ones on the kit. The kit itself is actually a lot more detailed than the simplicity of Wargreymon in the show in Digimon Adventures Season 1 and along with Season 2. So the fact that this kit alone is much more detailed than the character in the show, I gotta give props to that. I really do like the fact that Bandai decided to make it as detailed as possible, from just a few line work to even changing a few aspects of Wargreymon entirely. The shell pieces on the back is a lot more detailed, especially with the crest of courage on it. To the Draymond killers, sorry to look that up real quick, or his claws really, to the shell on his back, even the leg guards, which one thing I forgot to add in the parts video is that those guards are actually part of his leg. I thought they were just gonna be strap on to his legs, so it looks a little bit more authentic, but no, not really. It's just the pieces are constructed to make his leg, so it's not really just armor pieces that are attached to a leg. The armor pieces all along are the leg, which is not a big deal really. It's just if that were to happen, I would give credit to that extra step that Bandai would do for this kit. But other than that, I am thankful that this is not show accurate, just because to me the way how this is portrayed looks a lot better than Wargreymon in Digimon Adventures. And to show articulation, as this kit is now fully assembled, let's start with the head. Didn't really change that much. The only downside is because the shells on the back now, there is limited head rotation or head movement, just because Wargreymon's mane is hitting the back of the shell here, so very limited on that. The arms now can actually show this feature, which is kind of nice. There is a piece in the torso that actually helps extend the arm out for a little bit more movability or more articulation, so I'm very thankful for that. There is an elbow joint that goes oh so high. I kind of wish it goes extended just a little bit more. And does have a 360 rotation like so. And yes, you can also move the shoulder armor piece as well. And that's as far as it can go. I was trying to copy the pose that Wargreymon makes when Agumon Warp Digivolves into Wargreymon. And for those of you who are familiar with that show, you know what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, that's as far as the arm can go. I don't know if because maybe the joint is stiff on my kit, or maybe that's just an Arcus entirely. With that being said, the arm can do a full 360 rotation, like so. Elbow joints, so just like how it was in the parts video. Oh so much. But since the Draymon killers are attached, the killers can actually rotate just slightly. Because it's on like another knob, it can go all the way, but because there are some pieces here that are in the way, I can't really do that. The claws can go forward and back, like so. The waist, of course, 360 degrees. And I do want to add that I feel like the waist is just a little bit loose. Again, don't know if it's on mine or all the other kits. The torso swivel there, just slightly. Now that the legs are attached, you can go all the way forward, all the way back. Oops, I kind of dislocated that. There we go. Well, I was going to try to do a 360 rotation, but because of the way it has place, it is a little bit limited. And of course, just like how it was in parts video, that knee bend. So. And if you go to the back, see that shell with the crest of courage right here. And you can extend the whole thing like so. And that's about it for the articulation. Now for some size comparison. Here he is right beside the higher master model Terrace Bomber. As you can tell, it pretty much towers it. I was quite surprised that it's that much bigger. I'm actually kind of thankful that it is quite large in that retrospect. And here he is with his Digimon counterpart, Wargreymon. And even though Wargreymon is a four-legged creature or quadrupedal, and Wargreymon is a bipedal, two-legged creature, you can tell they were quite accurate in terms of how they were portrayed in the show. This is how similar they were in the show in terms of size and proportion-wise. So I'm glad it's very authentic to how the show was and how these two were characterized and displayed. And for laughs and giggles, come on. Okay. But at the very least, you all can get the good idea that with Wargreymon standing on two legs, he is actually almost, I will say, same height as Wargreymon, just maybe a smudge, maybe a little bit shorter, but you can tell standing on both of his hind legs, he's quite similar in height with Wargreymon. I really want to take this time to actually show some additional features that the Wargreymon comes with. So for starters, you can actually put both of his Draymon killers on one arm. All you gotta do is just remove one, like so. And on the other side of a form, it doesn't matter either one. Just place this knob inside there. And there you go. You have both Wargreymon killers on one arm. And aside from that, you can actually remove the... You can also remove the shell from his back and place them in his forearms. So all I gotta do is take this out, like so. Make sure this piece comes out with it. There we go. I'm just gonna take this off for now. And put this inside his form like so. Oops. Make sure you don't drop it. Oh, my bad. It's actually the wrong part of the form. If you can see here, this one has a little bit of a hexagon to it. It's not that one, it's actually this one. That is just a full circle, so that's my fault. There we go. Yeah, so Wargreymon actually has 3 holes in his forearms. Like so. And there he is, which is actually a pose he did in the show. In addition to that, the kit comes with an extra piece right here that you can actually put both of the shells on it. Stay still, thank you. Gotta do is place them in these 2 holes right here. Like so, and place this one on one arm. That way you can have just a shield on one arm like so. And lastly, as shown in the parts video, if you have an action base, and with this attachment piece, you can actually place it on the back side of Wargreymon's waist. Like so. And now for my final thoughts. Let's start off with the pros. For starters, I mentioned before a couple times, the colors did work well. It just everything matches well with the contrast. The colors do work well together, so that's definitely a 1 plus. Another plus, which is both a pro and a con, and the reason why I say that is because I do like the articulation. There's definitely so many ways you can pose this, especially with the action base, as you can tell. But at the same time though, which is a con, is that some of the joints were a little bit loose. As you can tell from early in the video, it fell while I was on the turntable. So I was hoping it would be a little bit better support. But I will say that with proper action base and with patience, you can definitely get this kit in certain poses. Another thing too, which could be just a preference, I do just like the fact that this is amplified, and even though that's the whole point of the kit, what I mean by that is I'm glad it wasn't 100% show accurate. There is a kit or some figures out there that are show accurate, but I just like the fact that everything just the detail work with this just expanded to that. Like that's the show, the character in Digimon Adventures, the way how it's portrayed, the way how it looked. That was the base of it, and they should decide to detail up from there. So right now they did a very good job in terms of that. Now onto the cons, and as I mentioned before, some of the joints are a little bit loose. I'm kind of surprised by that. I kind of feel like Wargreymon was a little bit more stable personally. I did hear some people who've already built this that they do like it. However, now that I have everything together, I do like the style of it, yes, but at the same time though, I was hoping to pose this and make sure I can just have no difficulties in doing that. And the fact that some joints are a little bit loose, and again, some kits are like that. That is just a given in case any of you want to get into this hobby, or for those who are already in this field of hobby, already are familiar that many kits are a little bit loose in certain joints and areas. But at the same time, I was hoping this would be a little more stiff in a way, just so I don't need to worry too much about some joints. But again, with certain patience, you'll be fine with that. The stickers mixed with the pro and the con, some of the stickers actually do work well. The red and the shoulder armor pieces, the white stickers for the Crest of Courage do work well with that. I just wasn't a fan of the sticker for the thumb. I kind of feel like it wasn't needed, but of course you can remove that and just add some paint, so looks a little bit better than just a sticker personally. And this is not really a con, I would say. This is more just a preference. I kind of wish, as stated before, that the armor pieces for the legs, the leg armor pieces or shin guards, I kind of wish that there was already a leg there and the shin guards were just attached to the leg. But it's just a minor preference. It's not a big deal personally. I would enjoy if they made that extra mile to do that. Now for my final verdict. Is this a kit worth getting? Easy answer, yes. Yes, I did share some cons, but that aside, I believe the pros just outweighs the cons in my opinion. Just because, one, this is a fan favorite from the series. Secondly, it is a good kit. Yeah, there's some things here and there, but I would say this is just a really good kit. It was a fun build for me personally. It wasn't too complex. It was an easy build actually. It didn't take me too long, but as I mentioned before, I take my time so I can smooth out some numb marks, and in case there's any customized painting, I would do that too. But I don't really think this kit alone needs any customized painting. Personally, I don't believe that. But of course, the imagination is to that of the beholder. You know, if you were to grab this kit, yeah, if you want to customize it, go for it. That's the one fun thing about model kit building, is that you can customize almost anything. But yes, I do suggest this would be a kit, especially for beginners. I don't think it was, again, too complex. Very easy to build, very easy instructions. And with that, I want to thank all of you for watching these videos. I really do thank you for your support. I'm glad I'll be able to share my hobby with all of you. And with that, all I ask is you please subscribe, hit that notification bell. There's going to be more videos to come. Share this video too for anyone that you believe that would be interested in this. Please, the more the merrier. So again, one more time, thank you all for watching, and tune in next time where I have more kits to build and more kits to review. And with that, thank you again. Keep on building. A little bonus ending actually for this kit. For those of you who already have this kit, are probably wondering one question, and the answer is yes. His brother is coming. Stay tuned.